Now, I'm going to tell you some of the things that took place. And then at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about the goose's health. Yesterday at the park, I witnessed one of the geese had a fishing line hooked to him with a bait on it. Well, the other geese was beating up on him pretty bad out in the water. It looked like they was trying to drown the poor thing. Anyway, he finally made it back to shore, exhausted. He walked over and fell down in a ditch and just laid there. Well, we called the wildlife and fisheries. They said, okay, throw a jacket, a blanket, something over him, get him to the vet, and they'll take care of him. Well, the park employee walked up and said, no, can't do it. And we said, why? He said, well, you're not allowed to do it, period. Leave the goose alone. Well, being an old redneck, that animal was hurting. His legs was all wrapped up in that fishing line with a hook in him. So I looked at a guy standing beside me over there. I said, have you got a knife? He said, yeah. I said, let's fix this goose. Well, I caught the goose and held him. This guy very gently cut all the line off, got the hook out of him, and laid him back down in the ditch gently. Okay? It was being filmed. Here come the same employee. Do not put that film up. Do not. Period. Okay, that's fine. I'm not going to film it, but I'm going to tell you about it. Now, good morning, people. Pawpaw, Sammy, and Alibug here. Came out this morning to watch the soccer games and walk at the park. Well, and during the walk, I saw a goose down in the ditch that looked like it was hurt. So I eased down there and get a hold to it and turned it over and had a fish hook in it. So some stranger and I didn't get the man's name. He come by and saw it, had a knife, and I held the goose while he easily got the hook out of it. And we released it. It looked like it was pretty exhausted. But the main thing wasn't so much the hook, is the string had wrapped around his leg and it kind of was biting into the leg. But once we got that string cut loose, the hook come right out. And I suggested, I was going to put it up for YouTube. And the people at the park said, no, do not post that. So I said, okay, I won't post any names, any places, any pictures, but I wanted you to know that when it comes to animals, I have a sore spot. Now, if I'm going to eat it, I'll shoot it. But if I'm not going to eat it, I'll make sure to help it any way I can. The goose laid in that ditch for a while after we got the hooks and all off of him. And one of the other people out there had some bread and snacks for their ball players. So we fed the goose some bread, poured water on his back to, make sure he was good and cool, and left him alone. About an hour later, we looked up. He was walking up out of the ditch, walked up on the bank, looked around, flew, and there's a big pond in the back of the park. He just flew, altitude and all over the trees, right back to the pond back there and lit. So I'm fairly certain he's going to be all right. So that's the follow-up on that goose.